Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News.
Breaking the rhythm.
New hotel details announced.
Travel to a new galaxy.
Attractions, merchandise, right?
Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans. I am unashamedly sitting here eating a ice pop, and for anyone who wonders, it is green flavour. You know that if you're watching, because I am suddenly becoming translucent.
I said, can you finish it in 7 minutes? And she said, yeah, I can, and she hasn't.
No.
I finished mine 7 minutes ago.
I just thought, no one here will mind if I eat an ice pop. They all know what the temperature's like in the UK at the moment. If you don't, and you're not in the UK...
Maftin.
It's Maftin. It's damn hot. Damn hot.
Too damn hot.
Doesn't sound right in a Yorkshire accent. Too damn hot.
Too damn hot. Too down. It's
Too
too darn hot.
Well, you wouldn't say darn either, would you?
No.
Are we all
Flipping hot.
Are we all
Too
loud
flipping
enough
hot.
and stuff, everyone?
Yeah, we've gone back to told microphones, and hopefully without a buzz as well, because I've had a bit of a flick about and tried to stop told buzz. So I should sound a lot better today, apart from Yorkshire accent and that.
Ooh. Well, it's been quite a newsy week in the Disney world in general, because there has been a D23 event. We are the Disneyland Paris Show. We won't be going to go into a lot of that, but I do know that there's a subject that was raised from that Hugh in particular wants to get his canine teeth stuck into. So we will be talking a little bit about D23 later on. But for the first bit, we're going to stick to Disneyland Paris. And I want to know, Hugh, who's here with us today?
Who are they?
All aboard, please.
Let's start with this one was first in the chat today. Hey everyone, can't wait for the show tonight. And then the Dunn family were in second, and rather graciously saying yay, second in the chat. Stacey says, I'll happily settle for third. See you all soon. See, this is all before the show even started. And then Bonnie's here, as some of you know.
Hey Bonnie, she's waving at us.
She says hello from upstairs, and that she's downstairs. And then Jill asked her, do you have a favourite movie? And she said no. And then she felt bad. So while she was in the bath, I added too many good ones to choose from, because she said she felt bad, and then she got in the bath. she's telling me to zip it. Aled says, Fiona and I have just returned from Anaheim after the most amazing spooky days in the park. Halloween theming was top class. However, Big Thunder is a disappointment compared to Paris. Ooh.
Well, I keep saying we have the best rides of all those iterations, but I'm darn jealous about Anaheim.
Well, Aled doesn't have long to wait. 201 days until Florida. Woohoo! Andrew Palmer says, quite simply, hey.
Yourself.
Hey.
Aaron is here and says, hey everyone, almost forgot it was tonight. Well, it is tonight.
It is tonight.
And we're glad you're here, Aaron. Bob said, Bob's probably going to be gone by the time the guys start, but he wanted to say hi. So, oh, and this time next Sunday, he'll be in the park.
Yes.
Excellent, Bob.
Fantastic. We want a trip report. You should do a video trip report, Bob.
Andrew's asking what's in everyone's tiki cup. Well, we'll get onto that soon because
Yeah.
we're gasping. So
We're-
I'll
we're
just rattle
very
through
hot.
these. Miriam
Yes.
says regular water in my tiki cup. Can't deal with anything sugary in the heat. Oh, I can.
Oh, yeah,
Aaron's
me too.
having orange squash. 59 days till Aaron goes to DLP. Excellent. John says, hello guys, doesn't the week just fly by? It does.
Does, really does.
Bob Sangwell says his cup is elsewhere. Maybe that's like a cute nickname for his wife. Not sure what that means. D6, before my third to last day as a DLP annual pass holder, I'm going to be a wreck on October the 8th,
Oh
says
no.
Miriam.
Yeah, it's sad. I was genuinely sad when I was expired. And now look.
Pauline's drinking coffee from her Stitch mug, and Lauren says, a good old cuppa is my drink of choice. And then Miriam asks, can I ask what a cuppa is? Is it tea? And Lauren says it is indeed.
Aye, lass.
It can be coffee, can't it? Can it?
Well, you wouldn't. No, if you have a cuppa, I'm having a cuppa, you have a cup of tea.
It's
Yeah,
a tea,
yeah.
It's
It's
not,
tea.
it's
You
not.
can have a
It's
cup
tea.
of coffee,
And
you have
so
a
is
cup
a
of coffee,
brew.
you have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
If you have a brew, that's a tea as well.
brew's a tea, yeah.
Stacey's got apple, lemon, and ginger juice. Oh, that sounds amazing. And a big plate of fajitas.
Ooh, I love a fajita.
Hi to Kelfie and Roz and Kerry. 15 days until Walt Disney World for Kerry. For the honeymoon, and 28 days until DLP.
Ooh,
Going to be a very Disney October, it is, isn't it?
that sounds awesome, yeah.
Busy. Matt Chester's back and says, hi everyone, dropping in briefly as I'm at work and we'll have to leave in 30 minutes or so. Needed a little DLP fix before driving. Choo-choos!
You should have used your heart, your
Driving the
choo-choo
choo-choos.
sound.
Oh. Yeah. Hello to Katia and Scottish Claire. Not
Hello.
seen Scottish Claire for a few weeks.
No,
and
hi,
Cheryl,
Scottish
who needs to get a real tiki cup. And Hannah, listen to your podcast. We go in 34 days. 2 families of 4 with 2 5-year-olds and 2 2-year-olds. Wish us luck, says Hannah.
That'll be amazing.
Oh, man.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
You're going to spend most of the trip like this. Checking where they all are at all times.
Emma says she's 18th in the chat.
18th,
Do we
wow.
still count at this point? And hello also to Gemma and Claire and Kiefer, and that's about it. And Ed, and voiceover guy, and Mark with a Q, and Alex, and that's your lot.
And Bob's gone now.
Yes, bye Bob.
Bob's gone.
Bye, Bob.
Bonnie says bye Bob. Bye
Bye,
Bob.
Bob.
Right, let's get a drink because I'm gasping.
Yes, please.
Hey, ole, it's showtime. All together. Your tiki cup in your tiki cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki cup.
Did I say hello to Kira as well?
I don't know.
I'm not
Oh, you
sure.
put some water in this earlier. You said you were going
Oh
to.
yeah, I did.
But I forgot that you had, so when I picked it up, it was a little bit over.
Finish that because I picked up some turtle juice by Gunner, tropical lemonade flavour.
Ooh.
It's low sugar, but there is some sugar. Sugar, lemon, and mango flavoured drink. I got us all one. Yeah, so enjoy them. Lucy's drinking out of the controversial recyclable cup that I took.
And I'm still working my way down this ice pop as well, so I might open this in a little bit. And then I'm also drinking Diet Coke. Mama needs to pick me up. I'm sorry that my voice is a little hoarse, but we went on a university reunion trip from our 20-year ago university days last night. It was all very civilised, but it did mean talking a lot in some very loud pubs. And so I was shouting a lot last night, and now I can't talk. So I'm sounding like Phoebe on the Sticky Shoe episode. So,
Yeah.
right, should we do some news
Let's
then?
get some news done. We've got the 4th and final day of our trip report coming up. I know some other bits and bobs.
Bros,
So let's get cracking.
Well, the first one.
like it,
tasteless,
Chris.
that isn't it?
It is, but it's kind of nice.
It smells rad.
It's subtle.
It smells rad.
Turtle juice.
It tastes less.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what? It says, the tagline on the back, it says, battling the bland.
How ironic.
Battling the bland. Full on flavour. Well.
Is it?
I think it's just tasty enough. Right, news.
Okay, so breaking the rhythm. Rhythm of the Pride Lands has had its final show. Oh.
Ever?
No.
Yay!
Until the 22nd of October. That's all. So I had put the final rhythm. But
Someone
no.
was asking about this the other day, weren't they? Whether it was going to be around when they were here.
It's,
There.
It's just having, as all these shows do, it's having its annual sort of break.
And
to sort of,
hiatus.
to rehearse new cast members, do the transfer of cast, all that kind of thing, refurb the theatre or whatever. So yeah, it's shut between today and the 22nd of October. It is a very good show. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's Lion King. It's got live music. It's got drummers. It's got singers and a bit of African dancing. It's not our favourite show because if you've seen Lion King the musical and you've seen the Lion King shows in Florida and if you've seen the Lion King segments in Mickey and the Magician and the parade that they did in the jungle and Lion King festival, it's all very much of a muchness. It doesn't kind of break new ground. However,
I've seen like 6 variations of this story now.
yeah. However, if you've not seen all those things, it is a spectacular show. So we do recommend you go see it. But you can't if you're going before the 22nd of October, so boo-hoo to you. That was a quick one.
That was a quick one.
Next.
Anything to add? No.
No.
Going on. Right.
Good.
Hotel details announced.
Ooh.
Now, Disney released one of these little kind of updating newsy promo videos this week that they often do, and it was actually relatively informative and palatable. You know, quite often it's kind of some strange costumed people saying everything in 2 languages that don't really, but not really saying anything and just standing in place in the park. This actually showed you some stuff. So it was, we went inside the Disneyland Paris Hotel as it is right now, as in still with scaffolding and work people inside it. The show does how the work's going. To say that they're taking bookings and it's opening at the beginning of next year, it isn't ready. It very much looks under construction. But then our house is a new build, and we could come and see it, the site and things, as it was being built, and the whole kind of building the house thing took blooming ages, and then once it was built they seemed to just kind of
They stick 50 people in and everything happened.
They whip up the rest really quickly, so I'm sure that they know it's going to be ready. We did get detail. I recommend you watch that video, by the way. I'm going to share it on Twitter after we've finished here. But they announced that Inventions will now be called the Royal Banquet Restaurant.
I got excited by this because of one of the names that was mentioned.
Well, the minute I saw heard Royal Banquet Restaurant, I thought, oh, it's just going to be another Cinderella's Royal Table. I just thought it's going to be all the princes and princesses, and it's going to be dull. But actually, they've got artwork and references to Princess and the Frog, Emperor's New Groove, and Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood.
Yeah. And
massively underrepresented in the parks.
they've also got a portrait of the Poisson guy. Did he have a name? I can't remember if he had a name in the...
Le Chef.
Le Chef.
Le Chef.
Let's find out.
So yeah, so I was really excited by that. So
Me
I'm like,
too.
this isn't just your average bog standard princess themed restaurant. They're going somewhere with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look
Louis.
Louis.
It doesn't look from the artwork they've shared like it's going to be pastel-y wedding cakey restaurant either. It looks like it's going to be a bit richer in colour, a bit more comedically themed. So I'm quite excited about that. Now on that same video, they did you a tour of the construction site.
For Frozen.
Thank you for Frozen.
Frozen Land.
Frozen. You're really leaning into the
I am a
normal
little bit
things
today,
there,
aren't I?
aren't
Yes,
you?
I
You're
apologise.
feeling it.
Frozen.
No, I think I normally put on my phone voice when I do this show, and obviously I'm feeling a bit relaxed today, so I'm just leaning into my I was going to say my Yorkshire roots, but I'm an Essex boy. Carry on.
He's sat in his boxer shorts next to me. That's how relaxed he's
honestly,
feeling.
I would be.
His dad does that when you go to his house.
Oh yeah, just walk in the house
He
and
goes,
take the
that's it, I'm
trousers.
done, and you just hear the jangle of a belt.
Yeah. It's
and
true.
His belt and flies are undone, and he sits down in his chair. And then usually falls asleep.
Yeah. Well, he's 80. He can do what he wants.
It's a Fletcher trait. Anyway, yeah, so I was going to do a new segment on that, but it's kind of difficult because they were showing us things going, look, this is going to be the rock work for the North Mountain. You're like, oh, I can kind of see that. But it's not really news on a podcast unless I can show you it. So go and watch the video. But one thing they did say is the show does Christoph animatronic
Yes.
that's going to be used. So there's like, ooh, where's that going to be? What's that going to be for? So that's kind of exciting. But yeah, go and watch the video.
Not
right.
now.
No, wait.
You know, watch or listen to this.
Stay.
and then do
Somebody
it.
say something
Sit.
while I do that last bit of ice pop thing where you kind of suck all the juice out the bottom of the thing.
Well, I've got some stuff to show. If we can have a break in the news, or if Chris has got anything to add to that.
Just that Inventions is the restaurant that was in the Disneyland Hotel, because somebody in the chat has asked where is Inventions. So just to let you know that's what Inventions was. It used to be where the character breakfasts and character dining was done before the Disneyland Hotel shut.
It was on the
refurb.
premium dining level, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you were using dining credits, it was like at the top end.
And if you want to know what it's like to eat there, we've talked about it in the past, haven't we? It's a great experience from a character point of view, but it's not a great experience from a buffet point of view.
We got very
Yeah.
specific about one aspect, and that was parts of the buffet layout were L-shaped, so you had to reach over dishes to get to the back ones at the back. And
So I'm hoping they've sorted that out.
do you know what? It's probably like only like a few weeks, like, you know, when we both experienced that, and like people don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, in all seriousness, if they're doing a full refurb, I hope they've refitted the buffet area, because it was very poorly laid out for a buffet, wasn't it?
Very poor.
It was.
Very, very poor.
Very, very poor. Very poor. Very poor.
Everyone just ended up crisscrossing and reaching over each other, and it wasn't good. So I hope someone's redesigned that. But if they haven't, you know what? It will be fine. We'll be fine. We're all polite people, and we're all tolerant, aren't we?
Mostly.
Yes.
Mostly.
Do you want to do your little show and tell? Give my voice a rest.
I'll do one of them.
You've got a show and tell.
Well, it's so minor. But when we brought home that Disneyland pasta, and it's like €5 for just some like very basic pasta that's like in Disney shapes. But I'm sure someone in the chat said, "Oh, I get that from Lidl," and I thought, "Do you?" And then I saw that yes, they did, because Bonnie loves this, so I've stocked up. So there's the Mickey pasta with even Scrooge is in here, and Pluto and Goofy. They're all in there. I'll put it on the
Cool.
on the close-up camera. But then there's also a princess one.
Oh, just budge it over a bit so that it's fully covered, because then it's kind of a nice background, that, isn't it?
That could be our new background.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's got Scrooge McDuck in there.
$169. It might have been on offer. I don't know. It's by Combino. Yes, I'm not advertising it. # not spawn. But yeah, so yeah, there's also a Cars one in Cars shapes, and a Princess one, which I haven't really looked at properly yet. But yeah, all these little princess shapes and castles and
cool.
things. Yeah, it's nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
We find that these last for 2 meals for Bonnie, and she has them with tomato soup.
Yeah, we got one meal out of the bag that you got us for all 4 of us.
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
And I also like pasta with tomato soup, but the boys don't.
Yeah.
A little bit of Disney at home. That's what it's about. That's
Oh,
the
that was a bit
magic.
scary.
I've got one more thing to show, but that will lead into some other conversation. So
Okay.
I'll show it later.
Okay. Oh, yes. I know what that is. Okay. Travel to a new galaxy. Chris. Yeah, I'm just going to hand it straight over to you for this, because the minute I said this before we started recording, you growled. And I was like, whoa.
Now, don't get me wrong. Disney Plus have done gone to an awful lot of effort to give us as much Star Wars content as we can possibly get.
Ever. As much as we could ever want.
You could not want for more.
You could actually want less.
Well, I do.
Some may
I do
say.
want less.
If you'd have
But-
told me 10 years ago that there'd be Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar content that I wasn't really interested in watching, I wouldn't have believed you.
So here we are in a day and age where we're now going to be taking trips to Ahsoka's universe of Star Wars
Are we?
on Star Tours.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what's missing from that. To my mind, this 9 films, I'm accepting the fact that there are 9 films there that get used within Star Tours. That's fine. It's all within that realm. It's got, C-3PO there for a start off. Great. I don't understand this. Why is why they're leaning into the flipping TV shows now?
It's so temporary.
And what-
It's such temporary thinking. They think, well, that's not even necessarily popular. It's like that's on at the moment, so let's use that.
Mando's been huge, and they didn't do it for that.
Yeah.
No, and
They've not done it for Solo. They didn't do it for any of the other standalone.
I honestly wonder if it will increase the ride's popularity, if there's a fan base out there that will like itch to see it, because the whole point of doing these things is it's the re-rideability. Now I do like that they keep adding new destinations into Star Tours, and it does keep it fresh. I think it's one of the strengths of it. And maybe you don't know what the destination will be. If it's just a really amazing situation to go through, as I think that the where they've got the broken up Death Star thing.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you think of the ninth film,
when you go through the water,
that is an amazing, an absolutely amazing piece of Star Tours. So to me, I haven't watched Ahsoka. I don't care about Ahsoka. But if the destination itself, whatever that may be, is thoroughly spectacular and enjoyable as a destination on Star Tours, I actually quite like it, because I think that's one of the strengths of the attraction, that you're able to.
I just
refresh.
don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want it. And do you know what? I don't want it so much that I think I've never played this for myself before. This is for me.
You must be grumpy.
I was hoping
Right,
you'd play
carry
that for yourself. You do go on a coaxium run in the Smuggler's Run ride, so there is like a solo link maybe there.
Okay.
A little tiny bit.
Okay. I'll accept that.
You know what? Ahsoka would be a great meat, though. I don't mean like to eat.
On Ronto Roasters.
Yeah, those tentacle things she has.
Ooh, yeah.
Delicious. Very fatty though.
You have to have them really rare.
Very gamey, whatever that means. She'd be great meat, but yeah, like I'm not bothered about the current Disney Plus show being on a classic ride. Oh, I've just knocked the camera.
You have just knocked the camera
with a big inflatable bouncy ball that Lucy sometimes sits on. Right, yeah.
Thing is, but I mean, would you be bothered? I mean, if it was good. I know that sounds ridiculous.
Let me ask you this way: do you feel brilliant? Do you feel like it's the best thing ever when you get some original trilogy content when you go on Star Tours?
What you mean, that you haven't seen before?
Whether you've seen it before or not, do you feel like it's better when you get that, when you get original trilogy stuff?
Original trilogy stuff. Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Prefer.
Do you feel fantastic when you
it.
get Crate?
No, I hate it.
Right.
I will accept the prequels though. I'll be like, yeah, I'll go on then if that's where we're going. If we're going to the Gungan City,
but even that's a
fine.
bit disappointing, because certainly the first time I went, it just got played to death. But it won't be familiar to me. I can't look at it and go, oh yeah, do you know what? That's in that film that I've watched hundreds of times. Even the prequels, I've watched them enough times that everything is familiar. I just don't care about it personally. I just don't care about it.
Let me ask you just one more question on it then. If the announcement had been new destinations added to Star Tours, and they just said that, and they'd not said what it was, how would you feel about that?
I would have been sat here going, oh great, where are they going to be then? Where's it going to be? Come on, we know what's going to happen here, don't we? It's going to be Ahsoka. It's going to be, and I would have been
Still
certain
grumpy.
it's going to be the television stuff. Yeah. Oh, Andor. They're going to do stuff for Andor. All those.
Oh yeah, they could actually introduce scenes. There's like 5 episodes that is in that prison. that plain white prison.
Couldn't they just go to Kashyyyk on Life Day? That'd be great.
Oh,
wouldn't
right.
yeah,
No, we're going out into ridiculous land now. Okay, final piece of news. Attractions,
ridiculous.
merchandise. Now, Disneyland Paris have launched these new ranges of attraction merchandise. This is something they've always had. They've always had attraction-specific merchandise. They've always had Tower of Terror merchandise that you can get and statues for this. But they seem to have just recently leaned into it as a thing. And they've refreshed all the different attraction merchandise, and they are kind of promoting them side by side as a range in itself. So what we've got, well, first of all, let's talk spirit jerseys. People, I've seen specific ride spirit jerseys for Pirates, Big Thunder, and Phantom Manor, and they are absolutely glorious.
Are they as good as or can you get? Maybe I'm asking, just a T-shirt, a plain T-shirt with the attraction logo on
Yes,
it.
you can.
Can you?
I know you can for
That's what I want.
Hollywood
Like
Tower
Star
Hotel.
Tours.
I know you can for Pirates.
Yeah,
I know
like,
you
yeah.
can for they've got new Space Mountain stuff. They've got Tower of Terror stuff, and Small World stuff is amazing. And you know what I love about Small World is if you get the generic Small World stuff that they are selling in all the parks, it will be that gold and white stuff, because that's what Small World is like in Florida and in
Through those if you want to put them on the camera.
and in Anaheim. However, look, he's got them up on the camera for you. So that's the Pirates one.
Keep going, and then the
Yeah.
next one's there as well. So that's Big Thunder
That's
Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain.
Front and back.
I like that one.
Oh, I like the big,
yeah.
the big writing on the back in that
I've been watching.
hatchet show poster style.
I'll just finish what I was saying about the Small World, because if you get the stuff that they sell in all the parks, it's going to be the gold and white. But this is specifically Disneyland
that's it.
Paris Small World merch, because it's that bright pastel colours that we're used to, and it's just gorgeous. There's a new lounge fly that I won't be allowed to buy because I'm trying to go cold turkey on things like that, but they've got all the notebooks and magnets and stationery and all sorts of things. For the Pirates of the Caribbean, they've got a bag that's kind of like a paper satchel thing. Really, really cool. And it's about as excited as I've been about for new merch ranges in ages. Right, sorry, Chris.
No, I was just going to say, Spirit Jersey's not for me, but I've been watching Schitt's Creek recently, and I could definitely see David from Schitt's Creek wearing these kind of clothes. That's all I was going to say.
All right,
So
yeah.
I kind of get it a
oh,
bit
sorry.
more. I understand them, but they're not for me.
Yeah, they're nice. Well, not Spirit jersey for me, but I'd take a t-shirt or a shirt.
Yeah.
Shirt, thank you
I,
very
I
much.
like the designs on them, though. They look good.
Yeah.
They look really good.
And
Yeah.
Emma points out it's Phantom Manor, not Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
This is what I mean by the really leaning into it, and I am really excited by it because it's Disneyland Paris stuff.
If they could do those sort of like cheapish for Disney t-shirts that just kind of plain with just the logo on them, just like a bold colour combination, they'd be so collectible that if they were a little bit cheaper, you'd maybe get like 4 in a trip. You know, you get like a Star Tours one, Phantom Manor one, a Pirates one, and I don't know, Snow White's, whatever.
I guess it makes sense that they're doing this with the 30th coming to an end. They need to lean into something, don't they? So it's quite a nice
Yeah.
little thing to be doing.
Because
I
if
like
you
it a
think
lot.
how much 30th merch is actually taking up space in the shops, like literal bays, they have to fill those bays with something, and I am down with this.
I want the Star Tours shirt to come back because mine's worn so much that you can't feel that nice velvety feel of the
Yeah,
lettering anymore.
it's so nice, that t-shirt, that I rarely ever wear it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to smush it up.
This is it, man. I want a new one because I have smushed it up.
Nice.
Was that the news then?
That was the news.
That was the news.
Right. Chris sent me a link on Friday, and it was like, this is like a little bit cheaper than, because it's always like 35 quid or something. But I've finally got Nachosaurus. So in the coming weeks, Chris, we do have nachos, but the Bonnies, so we won't be eating those today because that would be rude. But I've got Nachosaurus. If you don't know what that is, listeners, you can Google it. And it's always like, it should be about 15 quid, but it's always like 30 quid.
Yeah.
But so I've got that today. But this is the kind of stuff I like. I like this sort of kitsch, tacky, especially dinosaur stuff, which brings me on to DinoLand USA.
Oh.
Now, Mercedes said on Twitter that she was looking forward to my rant today, and at first I thought, I don't know what she means, but then I thought, does she mean DinoLand? Now, I wouldn't rant about the fact that it's going. I get that it's niche, and only a weirdo like me would like. And I'm not just saying this for effect. DinoLand USA is my favourite bit of any of the parks that I've experienced. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I love the boneyard with the bone and dino themed music playing and like a DJ introducing them. Like, I don't know what the DJ's
Bonnie
called,
loves the
but if
boneyard.
it's like DJ Rex or something, I don't know. Yeah, then you go over the bridge, you wouldn't realise there's a bit you can dig in. It's like a dig pit with all this like really coarse sands that you can dig this big fossil out of. And I like the restaurant, Restaurantosaurus. I like the Trilobite treat the 2 flavours of Dole, whatever it is. I just love that whole sort of theme of that 90s, like late 80s, early 90s kind of stuff. Because like dinosaurs were really big in like the late 80s and early 90s. Dinosaur.
And it's got
Was it Dinosaurs? Dinosaurs, the
Yeah.
the sitcom,
Sitcom,
and Denver the Last Dinosaur. all things like that. I love
It's
it.
thing is, it's got the kind of rich backstory that Disney parks used to have, like this fully formed backstory about Hester and Chester, and it was an archaeological dig, and then they ran out of money, so they started a theme park, and you can see like evidence of all sorts of, you could just, it's fully formed, and it's not based on IP, it's an original idea.
That's it.
Made
Well,
for the park.
Claire's saying, I've been keeping up with what's happening with DinoLand USA. Well, they've been sniffing around there. And last time I was there, I was saying, this isn't long for this world. This is not going to last. And they've been sniffing around. They're making announcements now that the dinosaur ride's going to be kept, the mechanism, what would you call the sort of the bones of it are going to they're going to be kept, but it's going to be an Indiana Jones ride. But they're still not, because at the moment they're doing these announcements that aren't sort of, they're not saying we're definitely going to do this. They're going, we might do this. And there's been like artwork of Moana and Encanto, neither of which really interests me, or as a lot of people will say, doesn't really fit with any of the theming of like conservation and nature of the park.
It's since Joe Rody left Imagineering. Joe Rody, like, it's his brainchild is Animal Kingdom, and he was very, very open and insistent in interviews that like Zootopia couldn't be in there because even though it's animals, it's a human story, and the theme was always conservation and stuff. So he got nudged out. Don't know the back and forths of that. And now they're going to put Encanto where DinoLand was. They're putting Indiana Jones in there. What's he got to do with animals? And they're putting Zootopia in the Tree of Life. And you're like, while it wouldn't be in keeping with the original theme of the park, I would be most happy if that whole area was turned into a Zootopia area. I say most happy. I'd be least annoyed of all the options. The best case scenario for me would be if they go, you know what, we don't have the money, and they just keep Dinoland for another 10 years. But I know that 99% of people don't want that. So yeah, I'm not gonna rant about it closing because I get that it's not a popular opinion that Dinoland USA is the best bit of any park. Bonnie is saying in the chat, do not touch my boneyard. Well,
Too late, Bonnie.
No, the thing is, the Boneyard, if you don't know, is it's a massive adventure playground, and Disneyland Paris have got 2 really good playgrounds for kids, and they're a godsend. They're an absolute godsend. If you've got like under 10s with a lot of energy, you just take them to those playgrounds for a bit to
and
run
they
off a
often
bit
love
of
it
steam.
more than any of the
They
attractions.
do. And at the end of the day, which bit did you enjoy? The pirate playground. But this is a massive adventure playground, and I think they must know, and it's always packed full of kids, like running crazy, but in a good way, you know what I mean, like really enjoying it. They must know the value of that, and if they end up taking the bones out and retheming it in a different way, I'm sure they will keep that space as an adventure playground, because it would be foolish not to be perfectly honest.
If they can reskin something and the theming's in keeping with everything else around it, I think they're gonna do that rather than just like raise it and then start with something new because it's cheaper.
Claire has said Zootopia in the Tree of Life. It's the 3D movie was Tough to Be a Bug is inside the Tree of
And
Life.
I like that.
It's all right.
It's
I'm not devastated.
It's a bit
about
jumpy for little kids though.
it is. Well,
There's always kids crying in it.
you
There
know
is.
the 4D cinemas
a good show.
where they've got like puffs of air and things like that.
Oh yeah.
At one point, they make out that spiders are running under your chair and then put puffs of air on the back of your leg. So you feel like spiders are running under the chair. Now, I know some fully grown adults who would have absolute hysterics about that. And if you're at all squeamish about bugs, I wouldn't go see it, honestly. Because I'm not. And even I was like, ugh. It's a bit, ugh. Anyway, so that's going to turn into is the computer doing bad things,
No,
Chris?
it's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. That's turning into a Zootopia 4D thing. But as Hugh has just kind of said, these announcements are becoming less and less concrete. They just kind of go, we have been drawing up plans for doing this. And then nothing happens. So none of this might happen, you don't know.
Could be years away.
Well, I'm hoping that I get one last go at DinoLand next May, and they haven't closed it yet, and I don't think they will have done by
Do you know
then.
what I hope? I hope that you've heard rumours that next time you're there that it's shutting the next day, and you go and you get your video of your last time on it ever, and then it
I'd be
stays
happy with
open afterwards because you got it wrong.
I need to share that little video again of me just enjoying DinoLand USA. Do you remember it? I'm just kind of looking around in awe at everything. Also, another thing that like I just we all like when we go is the Jamboree. What's it called?
Country Bears
Country Bear
Jamboree.
Jamboree. They're closing that while they learn new songs. Now, I'm horrified at the rumour that I heard that they might be learning IP songs.
I don't think that's a rumour. I think they said they've already recorded the songs.
I'm not liking that. Some of the songs are dated and a bit like inappropriate, perhaps, but
I mean, they're very inappropriate. I am amazed. I'm amazed they made it past the 1970s. To be honest, like some of them, you know, The Man Who Turns Me On Turns Me Down, and Blood in the Sand, and
Blood on the Sand.
and it just everything is.
We
just
like that, don't we,
inappropriate.
Bonnie?
And we're
So
like,
yeah, they're going to be learning new songs, Bonnie. She's listening with the intent.
But I've heard it's going to be stuff like Bare Necessities and stuff, and I'm like, that is so vanilla for the Country Bears.
It is. It's so like, it's basic thinking. Is that? It's very basic. The biggest worry would be to get there, and DinoLand USA and Country Bear Jamboree are both shut at the same time.
I think Country Bears will be. You know, I think that's already
that will be. I think
announced.
we've had our
and
last
we
go at that.
love that.
Chris has just passed.
We've had a message to show Kat watching us, and I just thought it'd be quite meta for us to then show that on the screen at the same time.
Cat watching us, watching the cat.
Melty Cat watching 37 Disney Street.
There you go.
That's a
blow
nice.
that cat's mind.
That's
when
a
it
nice.
sees itself on the telly.
Nice decor you've got.
I'm going to see if I can get the Country Bear Jamboree playlist, you know, and make sure that I've got it preserved.
Yeah.
And I might listen to it in my car.
Bob will have it. Bob Sangwell will have it.
Yeah.
I think
Lay it on
I've
me,
got
Bob.
it.
I think it exists out there.
I think I've got it
I
somewhere.
can get it for you.
In fact, I think I've sat and listened to it. 'cause,
But I don't want them to. Now, I'm not condoning Gary Glitter at all. However,
God, where's
just
this
as a
going?
human, I really liked the Christmas song that he did, Another Rock and Roll Christmas. And now it's like you can't download. It's gone. It's been expunged.
Mm.
And
Hate the
I'm
artist, not
worried.
the art.
Well, yeah. Well, with Gary Glitter, I'm like, enough. But I'm worried that Disney might just, now they've decided to do this, they might just take it off all street. You know what I mean? It might disappear off Spotify. It might just disappear. So I'm going to make sure I've got a copy.
I like these links to the past though, and when they update everything, soon everything is just going to feel like a bit. Do you like when you listen to two cast recordings, one from like an original 1980s like City of Angels cast recording, which is brilliant, and then so I'm thinking of Assassins. The original cast recording of that, the London one, is amazing, and then the new updated American one, and it's too polished and it's too cold and like it's too professional, and that's what I'm worried about, is like not having like your tiki rooms and your Country Bear Jamborees. It's all going to be new IP stuff and all just a bit bland, and all the hotels are getting a bit bland. I'll stop moaning now.
Do you want a grumpy?
Go on,
I
then.
don't think you've been that grumpy, but I'll give you one anyway.
Oh, you must
Slightly.
be grumpy.
We do need to acknowledge it, because some people are like, oh, they just moan all the time. 1 star.
I don't. I'm the magic, I like to think. Anyway.
And I'm the voice of reason.
Yeah. It's the sweet, the sour, and the, I don't know, pepper.
Umami.
Ugly.
Yeah. Right, so that's all she wrote, guys. I just want to point out at this point that we currently have 44 live viewers and only 8 likes. I mean, what's all that about, guys?
Goodness me.
Something's not adding up there.
I know.
Do half the people at least like it?
Go on, extend your index finger and do a little good thing for us, please.
Yeah.
I know you guys are going to talk about your final day.
Yes.
I've done the usual and dropped a message into the Disneyland Paris Show -37 Disney Street Facebook page. If you're not a member of that, go and become one. Just to ask anyone if they've got things to add for the show today. Bob says nah.
Yeah, I noticed. Nah. Nah. Bob's like, you know those people on Amazon that under the reviews they say, I bought it as a present, so I can't review it.
Haven't opened it. It arrived today. Haven't opened it yet.
Just kidding, Bob. Or am I? Let's find out.
Oh, Bonnie said, and I agree heartily, Bonnie, these bears deserve better, having to perform all day.
Are you drinking
Bonnie.
it?
Well done.
No, I'm using it to cool my neck.
Are you going to drink it?
No.
I'll have it then. Do you want a taste of it though?
No.
So, Carla mentioned the video update for Disneyland Hotel, so there is a video update for it. The link for it there if you want to view that. Not yet. Wait till the show's over, please. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Pauline Stotter said, "Oh yes, we're talking about D23. Well, we have done a little bit, and that's it. I think for now." Stacey's been in touch to say she's finished her Gus Gus costume. She's cooling off by the fan before Disney Bound number 2 starts work. She says, "I'm not expecting to be featured this week. It was very kind of you to do so last week.
You're
Just
away now.
updating you."
She's away now. Like it.
Andrew Palmer says Destination D23 and Once Upon a Studio ? Doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh yeah, there's a well, I saw a tweet about this, but I don't know if it's like is it a documentary?
Is this all me, by the way? Do you need some back?
Yeah, it's all yours. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I saw someone saying like how emotional it is, or it's going to be, but I don't actually know what it is. But so I shouldn't have really joined in there because I don't actually know. But I've just seen the image Once Upon a Studio.
Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm going to look it up while you
Someone will
talk.
tell us. Yeah. Lucy will tell us.
Aaron's said just an idea on displaying pins in the parks. I bought a backpack on eBay. It's called an Ita bag, and made the inserts using some foam and scrap fabric.
Is that what you've got, Lucy?
Keeps them nice and safe and looks pretty fun. It looks very similar to the black bag that you've got. Do you want to put it
Oh,
under?
yeah.
And so they've put some
Oh, that is a good idea.
backgrounds in and then stuck the pins in there inside there.
That's very nice.
It looks really cool.
I recently wore some of my pins out and lost one that Hugh bought me as a gift and was gutted. So I bought some safety backs off eBay, off Amazon, and I will let you. I'm going to wear some pins next week, and I'll let you know if they stay on because they're meant to.
Very good.
I like that Aaron's like shows the theme and all the pins are that theme. That's
Yeah.
a cowboy one there.
That
Excellent.
is very, very cool. Thank you,
Excellent
Aaron.
work.
And then Pauline said, "Hello, are you the Aaron from the live on YouTube? Nice to meet you." And Aaron said, "I am. Nice to meet you too. I haven't been super active in the group so far, but I did join pretty early." See, Aaron was there before it was cool.
That's
And
right.
that's it from there today. I do have a trip report, but I'm holding back on that trip report, and I'll do the trip report next week when we don't have their trip report.
Well, this might be quite short because
Well, if it is, then we can jump in. But let's see what happens.
memories aren't as fresh. It was 4 weeks ago now.
I'm just quickly going to give an
Yeah.
update on Once Upon a Studio. This is a tweet from Craig Williams, who, if you don't know, is one of the correspondents for the Diz Unplugged.
It must have been Craig Williams that I saw.
And he says, the new Disney short, Once Upon a Studio, is going to emotionally destroy Disney fans when it releases. Yay!
Someone at Pixar design it.
Assuming either the 100th anniversary day or before Wish. All new animation piano from Richard Sherman recorded in Walt's office and 40 plus original voices returned.
Oh, it's a
Whoa.
So it sounds like it's going to be a documentary. No?
no, it sounds like an animation.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
It's going to be a thing.
It
It sounds
says
like it's going to be a thing.
It's a
A
new
celebration.
a new Disney short, it says.
Okay.
with 40 previously used voiceovers. So it'll be old footage, presumably, that they've pulled together to make something. That sounds really cool.
And the Diz say Once Upon a Studio was absolutely perfect and gut wrenching.
Yay, is everyone ready
Disney.
for a good cry?
Does it have to? Like,
That's emotionally manipulative. It's like pulling at someone's nose hairs. You know what I mean?
I don't really want. It's a bit perverse to like want to have your gut wrenched.
Isn't that what? That's the MO for Christmas adverts these days as well, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to being just funny or cool or quirky?
No.
It doesn't have
you're
to
gonna
make us cry every time.
And
God.
Aaron says, by the way, that that they're to match the planned Disney bounds that they've got. So that's why it's all coordinated.
Oh,
for you.
yeah.
And that's, yeah, and Emma says that she bought a couple of bags like that on Lucy's recommendation. And what she's talking about is I have those clear plastic bags and I change the inserts every day. So I have bespoke bags for all my Disney bounds.
And you did a video about it, which is on the channel. You can
I
find
did. It's one of my cleverer ideas.
Right. Day 4
Day
in the parks. So we got an early start, extra magic time, and we went back to the studios. A very studio heavy trip this time.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Because we were taking our friends, and little boy is into Avengers. So Lucy did web slingers a few times.
I did.
Bonnie Bonnie and I went on Crush.
Oh, you said you were going to talk about the single
Right,
rider,
so
didn't you?
so I did single rider and I did it in early magic hours, and I managed to do it twice in. Well, it was walk on both times, but just to give you a bit of information about how the single rider works, is the bit where you go into the pre-show, they hold a separate queue there. And then once they've got everybody into the pre-show, there's a separate sort of cage area for single riders.
Oh, at the side there, yeah,
At
you're
the
going,
side.
yeah, okay, yeah, I remember.
So they get everyone in, and then they get you in separately. And then when the pre-show's over, you again get to skip the queue again to get to because there's not many people in the single rider thing. Again, it's two separate things. So you skip the queue twice, which is an improvement on some other single riders where you only really skip the first bit of the queue, but then you're still kind of stuck with things. Or fast passes rather. So the first time I did it, it was early magic hours. The whole thing was a walk on, and so they didn't even take me to the pre-show. They took me in a backstage area that said cast only, and just walked me straight onto the ride, like literally just past everybody and everything and just straight on. The second time I did it the way I've just said. Now, with the fact that it is quite a long ride, and there is the pre-show and stuff, that ate up most of the time, but in under half an hour I'd done it twice.
Right.
And it's just, I always say about these game rides are my favourite rides, but the only reason they can be that favourite is because of the re-rideability, and I always want to turn around and go back on Buzz immediately. Every time I want to do that.
Just stay on.
So, good tip.
Well, I took Bonnie on Crush, and we went into the park. It just opened, and we were turning right. I've getting out of Studio One, and we noticed a massive group of people slowly forming into a queue. And I thought, well, they can't be queuing for Crush all the way back here. So we walked on, skipped out probably about 20 minutes worth of people, and then kind of thought, oh, I think this is for Crush. Then we just kind of merged into the queue. But if we'd been if we knew what we were doing, we'd have probably just joined the back of that queue, and it would have been such a long wait. So, but in the end, we only waited about 15-20 minutes, didn't we, Bonnie, in the queue? What do you think of it, Bonnie? Because Alid says, Crush is such a catfish coaster. I bet loads of parents have taken their kids on it expecting a tame coaster. Surprise! And Bonnie says, Crush coaster was good. You were unsure at first, weren't you? And it's very much, because Bonnie likes Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, and the mechanism is pretty similar to that. Spinning around in a coaster. So yeah, she liked it. And
I
cool.
asked Bonnie today if she's going to go on Tron in May, and she said no. And I said, but you've been on Crush's coaster, how can you not? You've been on Guardians of the Galaxy. She says, I'm not ready for bikes.
I did RC because it was
Clever girl.
5 minutes single rider, but the single rider there, it's actually, it can be a bit slow. So I was more like 10-15 minutes in the queue, but still it's a relatively quick hit. And I love RC Racer. It's really short, but that kind of pit of the stomach feeling. It's really good. We met Sam Wilson, and Bonnie got out a little tiny Captain America shield that she'd made of air clay, and he was really nice about it. He was saying, "Oh, is it vibranium?" And then he quite cleverly said, "Did Ant-Man shrink it?" Because it was really small.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool to meet Sam Wilson.
Oh yeah, and he was just wandering through the park meet as well, which is always a little bit more magical, and you can just walk up to them.
Was he American or was he French American?
He was American, this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I know some of them are like Loki was.
Yeah,
Somewhere else.
I think Captain America was when you met him.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
I'd never do that. I'd never do that. That's what he said to us. We met Spider-Man. And
Spiderman.
Spider-Man.
Spiderman.
I think Peter wasn't so shy this time, was he? So we had a good time with Spider-Man. Here's a little gripe, and I get it, I understand, but we were all posing, and they all said go like this, do the fingers, and I thought, well, I'll turn mine the other way and do little rock and roll thing, little devil horns, and they were like, no, like this. And I immediately realised, they don't want me to do that. They don't want me to raise my fingers in a different way around Spider-Man. So, and this is one of the reasons I personally don't like taking these photographs, because I don't like just being said, stand there and do this. That's not interesting for
we
me.
know you don't.
So
Disney.
So the fact that you can't pose with a drink with Mickey, and I get that, I understand, and you can't do certain hand gestures with certain characters. If you can't, I'd rather not, because I like to express myself in some way. you know.
Disney know that these photos are going all over social
Yeah,
media.
they've got to protect the brand.
and
I get it.
They want it on social media because that's word of mouth, etc. But yeah, they can't have certain things associated it. I know people have tried to do like cheeky, rude things for photopass photographers. They just won't let you.
No. When we got our pictures taken on the Wish, was it the
Yes.
Wish?
No, the magic.
The Magic. The lady, I was pulling a silly face, and she said, "No, nice smiles, please, no silly faces." And in that instance, I thought, no, and I just ignored her. And we do have a funny picture of me pulling a funny face, and that's the one I prefer, to the just plain old smiley ones. So you've got to know when you can do that, though. It's just easier for them. It just, for sake of argument, just to go, no, nice smile. But then you think, come on, let me express myself. We decided to go over to the other park and went for lunch in Chalet de la Marionnette, and it was 11:45, and it was dead.
This is our tip: eat at 11:30, 11:45 every day.
Did you have curry
Perfect.
ketchup?
Did Brookie have that?
I don't know. I had the pretzel gammon sandwich again, which is my go-to in there, and it's got braised cabbage on it, and it's absolutely divine.
I cannot wait for this. Because we're not doing proper dining plan this time.
Yeah.
We've decided, we actually told the kids this week, sorry I'm butting in on your thing.
No.
But we told the kids this week that what we were doing, and said to them, we will book 2 restaurants to eat in. The rest of the time we're going to go elsewhere, so where would you like to go? So we started to talk about all that, but I'm more excited about the fact that we're going to go and eat at some of these different places.
I like all those little quick service places. They've all got their own flavour.
Get yourself to Hakuna Matata, get yourself to Chateau de la Marionnette, get yourself to the Iron Man one that I can't remember.
Stark Factory.
Stark Factory, thank you.
I don't know what I had in there.
We only had dessert and a drink. You stole this cup. We only went...
No, in Pinocchio's. Chateau de la Marionnette. I don't know what I had to eat. Just so it doesn't matter.
Memorable.
I'll have to look at the menu. It was something I don't normally have, I think. Bonnie's showing us a picture of the Hulkbuster in over there. Bonnie's just constantly interacting with us.
We need to give her a job, don't we?
Yeah, she's like the producer in the booth.
Grip. You're going to be Grip. Second Grip.
Then we went on Pinocchio. Not much to say about that. It was Pinocchio. It's fine.
Got a few splinters.
We went on Buzz, and Lucy had a broken gun. And
No.
she went back on. She told them, and they...
But I didn't then, because I was going to go back on with Bonnie. We got permission. We said, my gun wasn't working. We go back on. They said, yeah. And I went, yay, and took Bonnie, and she went, nah.
Why? So here's the thing, right? Because I was thinking this before when you were talking about Spiderman. Is there a way that on these Omni-Movers where you can just stay put, where you could just go, can I go around again? And they just go, yeah, of course you can, stay on.
Maybe.
But wouldn't that be good? That would be some right magic. You get to go into a little bit that nobody normally goes into.
I think, though, they're so used to just going, this way, step off, come on, this way, that if you're going to go around again, they might be a bit annoyed.
So what?
Or maybe you'd go...
Someone do it and see what happens.
Because Haunted Mansion could work like that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Phantom Manor could work like that, couldn't
Yeah,
it?
how cool would that be?
Yeah, because we noticed with the DAS Pass, there's a couple of times in Florida where we got on where you would get off. And then you sort of like, as people are getting on, we're already sat behind them going, hello.
Yeah.
How good would that be, though? Just as a little bit of pixie dust.
Yeah.
Can I go around again? Yeah, of course you can. Just stay there. Go through that bit of darkness.
They do that on, I know People Mover, in Florida, people often say, can I go around again? And, because it's not that busy. People do.
And People Mover, it's meant to be like a mode of transport. It's like the train, can't you? You just go around indefinitely on the train. No one ever makes you get off, and it's a bit like that as People Mover. Yeah, Spaceship Earth, I've just remembered that we were taken in a back exit, and then we were put on it before the loading area. So when all the chairs kind of emerge out, there was like empty chair, us. Empty chair.
Aaron did it on Pirates.
That's a little
few
bit different, though,
times.
because the exit and entrance are the same place.
But there was
so
a
you've not got an extra bit of
zero
line.
queue, but don't try it on other rides.
Okay.
Yeah, it does depend on the ride, doesn't it? But if you're getting off in exactly the same place, it could be worth it.
Emma says if there's no
Small
queue,
World,
they'll let you.
Small World, maybe. Yeah, like if it's dead, they would, because
If you can see there's no one stepping on.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get off to get back on, you're minimising the number of times you might trip. So
I guess
it's better for them if you just stay on if you're gonna do it twice.
It's probably more likely in like early magic hours when it's dead and there's like before it's got busy and there's only 5-minute waits and stuff.
Or
I
like
just wondered,
last thing at night. Because it was dead when we went on Pirates.
Aaron
That
says
late
not
night,
necessarily don't try it on other rides, just that they didn't get a chance to.
Oh, okay.
I think you've got to gauge it, haven't you?
Yeah.
If it's packed Saturday afternoon.
And if they look
maybe not.
happy or not as well. If they look like they're fed up with the job. And it's,
Yeah.
Speaking of Pirates, we did that, and then it was running out. We're running out of time. Then Lucy and I had a debate because I wanted to get the cases. Lucy wanted to do Big Thunder Mountain, and I actually left the queue to go get the cases. And Lucy was a bit cross with me, but actually, by the time I'd got them and then went back to Disney Village, we had 30 minutes until we had to leave. So I did the right thing. Because otherwise, I'd have waited for like nearly an hour to get on Big Thunder Mountain, and we would have been sweat because it was hot, man. Yeah. We would have all been running back to the hotel, sweating. So I did you a favour.
No, that's fine. That's fair. I think what I was a
Do you
bit...
know, it's like the show. I'm the timekeeper, and I sometimes get in trouble for it. But
No.
sometimes you have to take the flak, and you have to say, no, I'm going to go get the bags.
I think what I might have been cross about at the time, put me in a bad mood, not cross at you, but it had been on my bucket list to do some pin trading at Pablo's Trading Post, and we'd left it to the basically I'd forgotten my lanyard the day before, and we left it until the last day, and then when I went, they'd shut it. I think they shut it at like 3. I think it's only open from like 10 till 3 or something, and it was like 4:30, and I was really like, that's the one thing I wanted to do, and I was in a grump, and then yeah, that's all.
But I did actually, because I was leaving like a 45-minute queue, I thought, well, I will actually, because we haven't done it, stop off at the Nautilus on the way out.
Did ya?
So I popped through on my own, and I was just disappointed. I mean, I only sort of flew through it, but you know, I saw a screen. It was like a little show was just ending at the screen with some dolphins and someone going, you know, like there's some things of the sea. Let's say goodbye to them. And I don't know where it was, but there was no big squid.
They've released something this week about that as well, haven't they? Showing that the technology for the animation in that bit, I assume,
Right.
used modern equivalent of the multiplane camera.
Yeah.
I think trying to save some grace because of the changes haven't been particularly well received, have they?
No.
I did do something in the queue that is relevant.
She pooed herself.
This final queue, Big Thunder Mountain, I used it to log on to get my tax refunded. And it was a bit of a faff. It's a lot of filling in forms and typing things. Then you have to take a photograph of your receipts and put how much it is. But as people have said before, it's quite easy. But it is a bit fiddly and annoying. Now, had I known exactly what it was, I would have done it daily, and I would have done it sat in bed at night on the in the hotel on my phone, because it's the kind of just tedious thing that you want to do just before bed, but you don't want to do it stood in a queue for Big Thunder Mountain. So it's on the app. There's a little tab for it that says claim tax back. You click on it, and then all the instructions are there. You do have to register for a website. You do have to have all your receipts. But we didn't spend much this time at all, really. That wasn't why we were there. And we still got £15
I didn't buy anything.
tax back.
I didn't buy anything. I buy something every time, don't I?
You
Like-
bought me a Spirit jersey that I claimed the tax back on.
Yeah.
So we got £15 back, and it's like that's
Hang
good.
on,
That's
hang on.
money.
He bought you a Spirit jersey that you claimed the tax back on.
No, I told him this, and he went, "Oh, just keep it," because I think the tax on that was like £3, and then the rest was other things, you know. So, I collected all the receipts and did that. It's what I discovered during the process is it's only on goods that you take home. So if there's anything perishable, like you can't do it on food. You can't do it on if you're buying bottles of drink. However, I believe that something like that pasta, we did do it on. And you can't, like, experiences, you can't claim your tax back on theatre tickets for something like that. It's goods that you are taking home. But other than that, just keep all your receipts. And then maybe we'll talk about that more when we get to the airport.
Well, yeah.
If you'd like to know more about skip tax,
If you'd like to know more about
Rachel Tilley posted some very useful screenshots and information about the stuff that she got from the app on the Disneyland Paris 37 Disney Street Facebook page. Go and check it out. Carry on.
Very good. Kerry says, I did Nautilus. The iris opens and closes about 6 times, showing different sea creatures, and you get commentary. It was okay. No squid. No cigar. Unless I'm missing a bit, because some of our chat, there's a little heart icon, and a tiny bit of the sentence gets stuck under the heart, so
You can't move it either.
No.
And if you click on it, it just makes
gets
you do
bigger.
emojis.
I think it just says no squid.
put a comment on, and then it'll nudge it up.
You haven't missed anything. I can
It might
see.
say
It's
no.
not-
It might say.
It's fine.
It
I
might
think
say.
that
It might say no big squid.
you haven't missed
Just says no
anything,
squid.
Hugh. You're fine.
Anyway, so we got the train, and just to reiterate, because we did mention this before, but I said we should really mention it in the week where it actually happened. The day it happened was Lucy found that the connections were quite expensive, but if she did them via
the train line.
the train line,
Oh, yeah.
it was much cheaper.
And someone said the reason for that is because I did it quite late. I think I actually did it when we were in London waiting there. So it must have been only 5 days out, and it was cheap. And I think I don't know.
And that train,
the opposite of an early bird price. I
that
think.
train was fast, and it was smooth, and it was a lovely double decker.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I know it is expensive to be like €15 each for 8 minutes, but gosh, the convenience of it is worth it.
Cool.
Bonnie says you can stay on the teacups.
Oh,
Yes,
we've done that
you-
before, actually.
Yeah.
You did do that, didn't you, Bonnie?
When it's quiet.
That was our trip in its entirety.
Once we got to the airport, we had to
4
find
stars.
the machines for the tax thing. Now, Hugh was a bit like, well, how much we getting? What's this for? Where we're going? So
What's that?
you were. Because I was like, oh, no, I don't want to follow that sign to departures. I want to follow this sign that says tax. And I think you were getting a bit, look, keeping on the time. But as it is, it's not far from the train station. It's very clearly signposted. And if you've done everything correctly, you'll just have a QR code that you scan. Boom, done, leave. There were some people who were trying to feed receipts into that machine stood there in the airport. I wouldn't want to do that, so do it on the app before you go. But yeah, it was
Sounds a bit
very
like when you go
smooth
to an
too.
amusement park and you win tickets and then you have to go and turn your tickets into a voucher.
Yeah.
We did that last week in Bridlington.
Nice. Cool. Sounds like you had a great trip.
It was good. Yeah. Yeah, it was hot. It was good. It was very studio-ish this
Yeah.
time.
Huh.
Yeah,
We miss it.
it's a classic.
Miss
There we are,
Disneyland
classic
Paris.
Right, brings
I
us up to
want
the end
to-
of the show, doesn't it?
I want
It
to
really
go at
does.
Christmas.
You want to go at Christmas?
I do.
Go on then.
Tough.
I deserve a Christmas.
I don't know. Our mortgage renews in November, so I'll probably still be reeling from that.
Yeah.
So
get that.
For about 3 months, I'll just be on money lockdown, just out of panic, and then I'll start to chill out in February,
Okay.
March time.
Cool. Merry Christmas to us.
And to all a good night.
Right, okay. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We're going to do an extra 20 minutes, especially for our Patreon viewers now, where we might talk more about D23 and Disney Plus and things like that, and just life. We're just going to have chats. So if you are a Patreon member, you should have the
What
link
is
for that.
life?
If you're not, but you want to join us, you are able to join us right now and still join that chat. That would be a heck of a lot of fun. And for the rest of you, thank you very much for joining us. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. I hope the sound's been better.
Goodbye.
Bye.